Hi y'all, let's get our southern on and get some cooking done. We're gonna make shrimp tacos. I want to give you guys a warning. It's very dark outside. We have a storm coming in, so if we lose electricity, we won't be able to finish the stream. But I will do it on a short so you guys can see how to do it. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. After I tell you, next week we're going to have Asian night with firecracker chicken, which is Izetta's favorite, and vegetable lo mein, which is my favorite, with some rice. So we're going to be doing that next week. I want to thank all of my followers. Thank you guys for following and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying the shorts. Please let me know if there's something you want to see on the shorts. Go ahead and email me or message me in one of the content. I'll be happy to see about doing that. So no, I don't have a margarita, but it might be nice with the storm coming in. But we want to get done, and I don't want to cut my fingers off. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make the sauce that goes on our coleslaw. Now, I like to double it. So what I'm going to tell you is going to be double it, because you can drizzle it over the top of your taco, and it's really tasty. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're going to, first of all, we're going to do 2/3 of a cup. I love these kind of measuring cups. If you don't own one, get one. They sell them everywhere. This one just happens to be a Pampered Chef one, but they do sell them other places. Any good cooking store will have them. They are a must. They come in 2 cup and 1 cup. I like them. They make life easy, and it makes it so you don't waste anything. You actually get all of it that you have in there. So, yes, I buy mayo by the industrial size. Don't ask. Our family is, I'm a mayo fiend. I'll confess, it's my fault. Oh, and probably Ripper's, because he likes to clean the jar out. Okay, let's put our mayo in here. And another nice thing I'm going to show you about cups like this. These are little tips for helping you cook easier. Okay, we're going to put 6 tablespoons. They do have tablespoon markers, so you don't have to try to figure out what in the world is 6 tablespoons in cups and how many tablespoons added to that. You can just use the cup. Has it right there. So we're going to do 6 tablespoons of sour cream. Boy, I feel like it's the middle of the night. I feel like I live so. Now I know how people feel that live in Alaska where they don't get sun. Oh, I can hear the thunder and lightning, guys. It's wonderful. I love the sound of that. Okay, we need 2 cloves of garlic in here. We're going to use our garlic press. If you don't own one, you really need one. They make life a lot easier. You don't have to try to finely mash it yourself. Okay, we got our garlic. Now to this, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of cilantro. I washed it ahead of time. Yes, I say wash. You know why? That's my West Coast in me coming out. So we're going to chop up this. You want to finely chop it. Nobody wants to get a big chunk of cilantro in their dressing. So we're going to get this done. If you hold your hand up here so you don't cut your fingers when you're doing this. This is a good way to get hurt if you don't do it correctly. So make sure all your fingers are on top of your butcher knife. I know from experience, I have cut myself multiple times. When I get smart aleck or I'm tired, I highly recommend against it. So, oh, brilliant. Okay, we can use this. We need 1/2 cup. Once again, this guy comes in handy. And as I suspected, that's a 1/2 cup. Boy, I made a mess. As usual. Yeah, I know you got, the other night, my aunt, woo, I heard that thunder. My aunt said I should have called my business Hot Mess Kathy, but I didn't. I named it from scratch with Kathy. You guys just know that I'm a hot mess. So we got that. Now we're going to add our lime juice. And we need 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of lime juice. So these little bitty limes probably take 2 to 3 of them. We'll see what it does. They're nice and full of juice, so these work really nice. Oh, I guess a juicer would be better than a garlic press. So let's get it in there. Oh, the lime. I think, you know, I'm not a big citrus fan, but I love the smell of lime. Like, you know, everybody loves the smell of napalm in the morning. No, nobody does. I believe there's a song about that. Okay, that's about 3 tablespoons. So we need another lime. Okay. There's our 4 tablespoons in our dressing. Now we're going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. It says to taste. And as you guys all know, I hate to taste food, so I just go by instinct. But if you don't have instinct, make sure you taste it before you put too much, because salty food is not very delicious. Also, the other food has salt on it, so it doesn't need to be really salty. Okay. Now we're going to stir this baby up. Okay. Get a whisk. Try not to make a bigger mess. My producer will be sitting here giving me the glare eye or the stink eye. Okay, we got our sauce made. We're going to set it to the side. We have this is what it looks like. And we're going to put a little dipper in it because we're going to dip some out. Now, we're going to do our slaw, because you use this on the slaw, and you also drizzle it on top of your tacos. So, we're going to start with our green cabbage. And you need 1 cup of finely shredded cabbage. Cabbage keeps really well in the refrigerator. Just make sure you put it in a sealed plastic bag without air, and it'll keep in your crisper for quite a while. You just have to cut off the dark edges that come on it when it sits in there. As long as it doesn't mold, it will keep for quite some time. So I like to cut this up into smaller pieces because nobody wants to get slapped in the side of the face with a piece of cabbage. So that's about a cup right there. You can measure it if you're not confident. This does not have to be exact. Then we need a 1/2 cup of red. So that means half the amount of green we put in. I think it's just for color because, you know, you don't want to eat Mexican food if it's not pretty. Well, that's not true. I'd eat Mexican food 3 times a day, 365 days out of the year if I had a choice. But my kids would revolt. Actually, I'd eat tacos every day, and they would really revolt. We usually have Taco Tuesday, but because I'm making tacos tonight, we didn't. Okay, so that's our slaw. We're going to now let me clean off this mess I have here. Just a second, guys. Let me rinse my cutting board off because we're going to cut up a couple more things. And our other sauce. We're going to move on. Next thing we're going to cut up is our tomato. You're going to take 1 tomato. This is for topping. And we want to dice it. So we remove the core because nobody wants to eat a core. Please make sure you remove your cores from your tomatoes. Also, because I couldn't find any decent Roma tomatoes, so I'm using on the vine tomatoes. Try to get the seeds out. You don't want those seeds on your tacos. These kind of tacos, it would make them soggy, and that's not very tasty. So try to get your seeds out as you're cutting it up, because you don't want to keep. I mean, I like seeds, but sometimes there's a time and place for it, and this is not a place for it. So keep them out of there. And thank you for joining me to go down to Texas or the Southwest. This is basically a Southwest taco. This is not a Mexican taco. It is a Southwest one. I'm sure they have shrimp tacos in Mexico along the coast, but I'm not sure how they make them. Probably with a bunch of delicious peppers that I can't find up here. And cheese. Oh, yes. Mexican cheese is so delicious, but I can't also find that up here very well. Okay, so we got our tomatoes chopped up. We're going to put them in our little salsa bowl here. So we got that ready. Let's clean this off, and we're going to move on to our avocado. I have two here because you never know when you're going to hit one that's not good up here. Hard to find good. Ooh, look at that. And just go around it again so you don't cut yourself. Nobody, don't cut yourself, guys. I don't like cuts. I just recovered from one, from being stupid. So I'm going to make sure I reiterate that point. I'm sure everybody that cooks has done something like that, and we all regret it. I try to avoid stitches. Okay. Chop it. We're going to chop this up too into pieces. We're not making guacamole. Guacamole does not go very well because what happens if you put guacamole with this, it plays against the slaw, and so you don't want that. You want the slaw to be to shine. So you need to just use chopped up avocado. I'm gonna put this in here. Avocado should, if it's gonna be a while, you can squeeze some lime juice over it. But we're not gonna be that long, so there you go. Okay. Let me don my gloves and let's give our shrimp. I use giant shrimp. I always devein them. I cut down the center to make sure I get everything out, which I see a place that I didn't. So you're going to go like this, and you go like this, and you pull out. Any dark string that's on the stomach or the back, you don't really want in your shrimp. I'm going to highly recommend that you remove it. Okay, so I'm going to put on some gloves. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Our taco seasoning comes straight from Texas. Woohoo! Thank you to all the friends and family that have brought us taco seasoning from my favorite store, H-E-B, so that we can continue having our favorite taco seasoning up here. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons. Yes, we buy it in bulk. I know some people didn't realize you could buy taco seasoning in bulk, but you can. Sprinkle it over it. So we have 2 pounds of shrimp, 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. 1 pound. So you do the math. If you only have 1 pound of shrimp, you do half. And we're going to massage them. I'm a retired massage therapist, so I know how to massage a shrimp. Okay, there you go. See how we massaged it in nicely? Now we're going to let me remove these. This, you can see why I wear gloves. Ugh, nobody wants all that underneath their fingernails. Okay, we're going to move over to the stove and we're going to cook our tortillas, and then we're going to cook our shrimp. So let's let Izetta move the camera, and then we'll get started. We're ready? Okay, so I'm only going to do a few tortillas so we can move on to the shrimp, and then I can finish later for my family, but we're going to do like 3 for making the tacos plate. This is a tortilla warmer. I really love it. You can buy them online from Amazon, but I got this in a store. It can go in the microwave, or you can put it in there to keep your tortillas warm. I'm telling you guys, this is also good for flatbread, pita bread, anything you warm up, it'll keep it hot for the entire meal. It's really, and you can just throw it in the washer and wash it. Works so much better than my plastic one because nothing gets soggy from steam inside of it. So we're letting that heat up. While that's heating up, I'm going to go over here because we are getting more and more lightning and thunder, and I'm getting nervous. So I'm going to add my butter, 2 tablespoons of butter. Unsalted is best because you have that salty taco seasoning, so you want to add that. And then you're going to add olive oil in here too. Now guys, the reason you add butter and olive oil together is 1, your butter won't burn, and 2, they just heat better together. Plus, who doesn't like butter? So now, when you're cooking your shrimp, you got to be careful. You do not want to crowd these babies. Let me turn on the light. Maybe that would help. You don't want to crowd them. You need to lay them down, single file, on here. We're going to put our little bowl. We're going to put them in back here. You do not crowd them when you put them in the kettle. It also needs to be sizzling hot. It takes about 2 minutes on a side. Shrimp should not be undercooked and should not be overcooked. They should be pink and opaque when they're done. With the taco seasoning, it's a little hard to tell. So just make sure you touch it and make sure it's firm and not jiggly. So we're getting that. That's getting hot. Let's throw a tortilla on here. I like to turn them sometimes, but they don't have to. Kind of watch them. When it starts to bubble up, it's ready to flip over. The first one's not always that great. I have these wonderful little tongs. We're going to start putting our lovely shrimp in here. I always use large shrimp because they're easier to cook. The smaller shrimp are not as easy to do this with. So yeah, I'm lazy. Put these guys in here. And I always buy the ones that are deveined, but they're never completely deveined. You always have to do something to them, guys. I'm just going to tell you. You know, a machine does it, so it's not very efficient. And I'm just really picky about it. And I don't even eat shrimp, so I don't know what my problem is. But I don't want my family eating that stuff either. Oops, runaway shrimp. Okay, I'm trying to stay out of you so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, there, the tortilla is ready. Woo. Okay, may have overcooked that one. Okay, we got all of our shrimp in here. Perfect. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. Oh, Alexa can't. Okay, I'm going to watch the time. Okay, this guy's done. Let's put him in. Get another one on here. Huh? No, that's okay. I'll look at the time up here. It says 6:18. I can watch it. So, I make a lot of tortillas. I know I have a gas stove, and I know people do them on the gas stove. I'm just not that coordinated. So I use my little tortilla skillet. So we're going to get ready to turn the tortillas, the shrimp here in 1 minute. And if you can see how those little guys are cooking away. Okay, got our tortillas hot. Turn that off. We'll put them over here to make our tacos when we're done. No, almost time to turn these guys. In fact, I think I'm going to start turning the first ones I put in there. Yep, time to turn them. And you can see how they're a different color on this side now. And yes, this takes patience, guys. It is not, sometimes I just want to get a flipper and flip them over, but that's not how it works. You have to be patient and do these slowly. You can take them out once they're done with a flipper. You don't have to use the little tongs, but you should turn them over with the tongs so you get every single one turned over. Okay, another 2 minutes and we will be done and we'll be ready. So this has been a really short stream. We're almost done, but that's a good thing because our weather is being very uncooperative. So we got 2 minutes. Let me move those around. I'll change this direction here so there's some oil on those. Nothing's level in an old house. Since we live in an 1858 Victorian, nothing's square, nothing's level. I've just learned to live with it and just kind of move things around to accordingly. Yeah, they're almost done. You can kind of feel because they go from mushy feeling to solid, and that's how you can tell if they're done. You don't want to overcook them because then they become rubbery. So there's a fine line between done and overdone and raw, and it's just something that you learn with time when you're cooking them. We're almost there. Yeah, just a couple more seconds. We'll be removing these guys and making some delicious tacos with them. Okay, I believe those are done. So we're going to take these out, put them in a bowl. I like to use my fish one because then it drains off most of the oil when I'm picking them up. So I don't end up a bunch of oil in the bottom of my bowl. Look how pretty they are. You know, it makes me wish I ate shrimp, but I don't. So here we are. Okay.
Michelle said yummy.
Yeah, they look yummy. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to build ourselves a couple tacos. So we take our tortillas, we put them in our little tortilla holder. Then you're going to put the shrimp down in the bottom, line them up in there, like 3 per taco. Hopefully I'm making these like my husband likes because he's going to be the one eating them. Then you're going to top it with a little bit of slaw. And you're not supposed to be a slob about it, guys. So all your spices coming from the taco seasoning in this recipe. Then you're going to add a few tomatoes, not too many, a little bit of avocado, some feta cheese, and then drizzle just a little bit of dressing on top. And there you have your shrimp tacos. It's a wonderful, easy dinner you can make in less than 30 minutes, and I highly recommend it. If your family eats shrimp, do it. If not, you can always do shrimp, and you can do steak too, and then you would have turf and surf. Surf and turf. Oh my goodness. Y'all, thanks for joining me. Join me next week for Asian night with firecracker chicken and veggie lo mein. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.